As a small business owner, you deserve more. More confidence, more connectivity, more of the tools that help your business thrive. And at Cox Business, you can expect more from us. We don't just have sales reps. We have perfect plan identifiers. People who will work with you to make sure your business gets everything it needs and nothing that it doesn't. Your business deserves more, and that's why you can expect more from Cox Business. Call 800-526-8572 to switch today.
There's nothing more predictable in life than the unexpected. Lightning will always strike. Hail will fall on roofs. Fortunately, there's AAA. AAA has been helping members stay prepared for over 100 years. So when unusual storms, fallen debris, or sudden leaks happen, you'll be covered. Check, check, and check. Get the home and auto insurance you need by talking with a AAA insurance agent today. Visit AAA.com/insurance or stop by your local AAA store.
If you prefer real mornings, shouldn't you have a real breakfast? At McDonald's, we get real about breakfast. That's why you can have a savory sausage biscuit with delicious hash browns for only $1.50. It's time to wake up breakfast. Single item at regular price. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Thoughts of suicide may feel impossible to overcome. But with help and support, you can find hope and meaning. Call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK to speak to a counselor, or visit suicidepreventionlifeline.org. It's free, it's confidential, it's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And even if it feels like it, you're not alone.
Up. The Longhorns win it. Did he drive him 95 yards? Well, he had a lot of help from some different people, but A&M just went 95 yards to make it a 17-0 ball game.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to A Pot Divided. My name is Aggie, and I am your host for the evening, and bringing you tonight a co-host as my guest is Martini Shark, otherwise known as Brad Slager. How you doing, Brad?
I'm doing well. Usually I go by the moniker of the fourth Jonas brother who's not allowed on tour.
the other Jonas. Oh my goodness, imagine my shock when I found out there were 4 brothers, not 3. So.
Yeah, I used to be Connor Manning, but then all the other brothers retired from quarterbacking, so that doesn't valid any longer. I got to go with the Jonas brother now, I guess. Some way I can designate myself as invalid.
Well, whatever works for you, I guess.
Yeah, so far. It gets me the prime seat at Wendy's when I need a good booth. That's about it.
Well, thank you so much for sitting in for LL. LL is taking a break from Twitter for a while, so I'll be either having co-hosts or I'll be having Princess Lou as my co-host for the foreseeable future. So,
wow. So what you're saying is she's the wise one and we're stupid.
Yeah, pretty much. She's off having fun.
Yeah, she's unplugging properly during the quarantine, and here we are.
Exactly. Whereas we're still stuck here and, wondering if we should take the red pill. So, anyway.
Well, hopefully we can be a positive distraction tonight of sorts.
Maybe? I don't know. I'm just winging this.
This is your show. I'm looking for guidance here.
Well, the worst part is sports have been suspended, and this is truly a sports show as well. So half of our shtick is gone, and the other part is mostly girly stuff. And you're here, so that's kind of put on hold. So we're just swinging with
Holy
the
cow,
quarantine.
you asked me to be on the show, and I'm half the problem now. I don't get this. What the? You're going to have a hard time getting other hosts on here. I'm just telling you if this keeps up.
Look, I was desperate. You were available. What can I say? So, anyway.
Oh, I get the others. They probably get flowers in the green room, and this is what I get.
Everybody else was washing their hair, Brad.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Anyway.
You're the only one who answered
wing
its phone.
We're just going to wing it. Some, stuff that's been going on in the interwebs since the whole 254th day of quarantine has started. So.
But see, I don't know what the big issue is, because if people were smart like me, they would go online and see what all the celebrities are doing to make us feel better about this.
Oh, good God.
Because let me tell you, nothing makes me feel better about being sequestered in my home than watching a celebrity on their sofa requesting that I stay home while they're in a room that has an echo because you can land an airplane in it.
Yes. That's pretty epic. I think the last one that I saw was, I want to say it was Kate Winslet with a PSA about washing your hands, because she had been in a movie.
Yes.
Right?
Actually, that was what I was writing about tonight, actually.
Okay.
She, it really isn't even on her so much as it is the media. Because, the press is the ones that have been saying, we need medical advice from medical professionals in the field. We need to get authoritative people telling us what to do. So let's go to Kate Winslet, because she's been in a movie about a virus once.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. And it struck me as, repetitive. I mean, she wasn't saying anything that hasn't been told at least 1,000 times by other people. So it wasn't like it wasn't anything new. I mean, I won't lie. She's very pretty. She's extreme eye candy, and I love looking at her, and I think she's a fine actress and everything, but it wasn't anything new.
Come on, Aggie, you're telling me you knew how to wash your hands before Kate Winslet told you the proper method?
Yes, because I listened to Alton Brown, and he told me how to wash my hands. So there. Because he's a chef, so he knows.
Okay. Yeah, I really, just appreciate the fact that the press is going to the start of Contagion to tell us how to do these things, because, she's not a medically trained virologist with empirical experience in the field of pathogenic outbreaks, but she has played one in the movies. So...
I find it's extremely ironic that the same people that are saying, "Oh, pay attention to Kate Winslet," are the ones that are saying, "We don't want to see Dr. Birx and Dr.
Right.
Fauci or anybody else anymore because they're just hacks."
What did you see? The beautiful moment that took place yesterday too, where the press spent the weekend trying to discredit Dr. Birx, who's got a decades-long career in Washington, has served under numerous administrations, worked at the CDC, was the world ambassador from the United States in AIDS research. She was on the cutting edge of the cure for AIDS when she was working in the military, medical fields. She just has this long, extensive career that anybody would be envious of. But she said one sentence that was a compliment to Donald Trump, and her entire career is now invalidated. We can no longer listen to her.
It is incredible. It is the sheer disgust that the media has for the current administration. It's beyond the pale to me.
Well, the thing is, they tore her apart all weekend. They've been trying to drive a wedge between Dr. Fauci and Trump. So yesterday they had the briefing, and they didn't even have the doctor showed up, and the press were upset about that.
No, we don't want to talk to him.
Where is he? Why aren't we hearing from the doctor? You dumbasses. That's all they do now is just invalidate themselves. And, of course, it all came to a real frothing head yesterday because the My Pillow guy happened to speak in the Rose Garden yesterday.
Oh yes. And that was I didn't find it particularly despicable or anything. I just thought, hey, he's putting out his words out there, and hey, he's got the microphone. Let him go, But I don't remember people being this upset when, Bo Bergdahl's father was at the, in the Rose Garden and started the whole thing with, the whole in the name of Allah, the mighty and the compassionate stuff. And nobody wigged out about that. So I don't know. People are just insane nowadays.
No, that's all it is. And I think once we come around this and, by summertime, if we return to normalcy or anything approaching normalcy, the media is going to find out that they're in a completely new realm of inconsequentiality in the minds of many people.
Yeah, I think they're starting to really see that. I hear reports from my dad how the press in Puerto Rico are really upset because they want to actually somehow blame everything that's been going on in Puerto Rico. Now has cases of COVID-19 and on top of the earthquakes that they have been enduring and still recovering from Hurricane Maria and all of this stuff. They want somehow to make this the administration's fault, the U.S. administration's fault. And it's like they were interviewing, I don't remember who it was, but they started, somebody for one of the newspapers was interviewing someone. And the guy just started yelling back. He says, "This has nothing to do with the U.S. This has nothing to do. It's a virus."
Oh, yeah.
It was so epic. My dad just choked on his soda because he was laughing so hard.
Well, who was it? I think it was...
And people are starting to see that. They're starting to see that this has nothing to do with politics. This is a virus that's going around, and we need to figure out how to deal with it now.
Well, I think the other issue, too, is that the press is unraveling at a greater pace right now, while most of America is locked in their houses and watching them on a much more extreme basis than they used to. Yeah, I think more and more people are coming to the realization that these people have lost their minds.
And it's for us, it's entertainment. It is far better entertainment than almost anything that's on TV nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing people say things like, "Have they always been this way?" Like, oh yeah, they're just louder now.
Totally. And and I get it. My sister's driving me crazy. She was sending me texts about how this. I think it was Jim Acosta she was getting mad at, and I'm going, you used to like him.
Do you know who that is? Well, I think one of my favorite assessments so far was, I think it was Chris Cillizza at CNN, who said, "A virus does not recognize borders." Wow. Thanks, Chris, because the people that carry the virus happen to. So I'm a little curious what your point is here. But this is Chris Cillizza we're talking about, who got a brand new hoodie, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Great hoodie.
What did it say? The press is important? Is that what it was? Journalism is important?
Or something like, or we need journalists, or, journalists are needed, or I don't know, something like that. Either way, it was like so tone deaf.
Yeah, it's like, let me get this straight. We have a mounting pandemic that requires medical professionals by your own assessment, and yet we need to be grateful for journalism. Okay.
The firefighters. So.
I mean, the guy could not be more oblivious, and I think you and I were both lighting him up yesterday saying, wow, that's a nice hoodie. Good luck on your quest in becoming a journalist someday.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of a nice idea for him to wear that and go looking for some, because apparently we don't see any anywhere.
Yeah, if you recognize one, let us know, because it'd be novel. Jeez, these people, they just crack me up at this point. I mean, when they're not aggravating the living hell out of me, but yeah.
Well, speaking of TV, that is a viable source of entertainment, journalism.
Oh, yeah.
But there are certain shows that we should not be watching during quarantine. And there are several reasons why.
Sounds like you've made a mistake in your library.
Okay, so one of the things that my sister was complaining about was that my brother-in-law wanted to change the channel, and she was watching a show called Snapped. And I'm like, you're at home with him 24/7 now. And for the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, the last thing you should be watching is a show showing you the stories of women that just snapped and killed their husbands. This is not a good idea.
Or she's taking notes.
I was like, why is it so important to you to be watching this show right now? And she said, I love this show. And I'm like, oh my God. So that's one of the shows that I would avoid watching. I mean, it's just, you're just begging for trouble. And Forensic Files, that's another one. I don't see any good coming out of watching those shows while in quarantine.
Yeah, I'd even go even a little simpler than that, because the phenomenon in this household is that for some reason, 50% of the time, the Food Network is on our television, while our grocery store is 50% filled.
My favorite part of Food Network is that they're showing this cooking show, and it is, you're going to take your arugula and you're going to do this and do that, and then you just go to the kitchen and fix yourself a grilled cheese sandwich.
So for me, it's always the judging aspect of it when they're, going through it. It's like, well, I've prepared this Madagascar vanilla bean North Slope crystallized with a citrus foam, and I've got some veal cutlets that have been drizzled in champagne. And then the judge is like, well, you lost because you didn't use enough salt. It's like,
yes.
What? Always the case. $7,000 meal and they forgot salt, and that's why they're walking out. Okay. But yeah, if you go on Netflix, you'll, I think you could put in just one title and you will just get an avalanche of viral contagion options for your viewing pleasure to take your mind off of the viral contagion outside your home.
That's an idea.
I mean, let me just, I had up a screen. Here we go. I mean, you can get anything from outbreak to pandemic to 93 days, where the poster has a guy in a mask, and there's containment, there's Pandora, there's something called Cargo, which is about an outbreak. There's the movie Carriers.
Well, the ultimate movie, the ultimate quarantine movie should be Andromeda Strain.
That might be a little too old, though.
Yes, but it's still a classic.
Oh, absolutely is. So yeah, when you find yourself unable to, purge any anxiety out of your system, you can select any one of these numerous dozens of films that'll keep you up all night.
Oh yeah. I remember one time there was what's the show, the Food Network show, Chopped. They had a marathon, and I was sick with the flu, and I've avoided the Food Network during the quarantine for this reason. I mean, it was to the point where I was watching it, and I'm like, you know what? These things are not challenging. I want something that has, you open up the basket and you have motor oil, a cuddle chew toy, chicken feet, and a dead fern. Do something with that. That would be that's a challenge.
Yeah, I love those episodes where basically 3 of the 4 ingredients I've never heard of before. I can't even pronounce them.
Most of the time. And then, no, but my favorite part is when one of the judges is like, oh, yes, I cook so much with, ingredient X. It has such a floury consistency, blah, blah, blah. I'm going, I've never even heard of such a thing. and And when I was in college, nutritional anthropology was the thing I was studying. So I was used to seeing all sorts of weird shit when it came to, foods. But some of this stuff is like, I never even heard of that. It probably comes from one region in Nepal or something.
The judges like shrug it off like it's no big deal, and it's like, it's antiqual. Have you ever used that before? Oh, yeah, sure. That's from the appendix of the cuttlefish, and it's got a very smoky consistency to it as long as you cook it properly. And it's like, shut the hell up. No, you did not. You put that in the basket as a joke. I know you did.
Oh, my God. I would not doubt it if some of these things were put in there as a joke. I just don't see where, I mean, you can't, not even in Whole Foods that carries, all sorts of odd things from around the world. I wouldn't find any of that stuff.
Yeah, I just laugh when they should have guys' grocery games too. That's made this week based on what's in grocery stores. So they'll have to get vegan mac and cheese, the sugar-free cranberry juice, frozen guava paste, and soy burger patties, and make a 5-course meal out of that because we ain't got nothing left in the store but that crap.
Well, I hate to say it, but I just bought guava paste because I know how to use it.
Of course you do. I think I had it one time and I thought it was a coaster.
It's. Do you actually have to reconstitute it if you buy it, with a hard stick, it looks like a fruit roll-up, but really, really hard. But it has to be reconstituted before you can use it. Anyway, that's your cooking tip for today.
Well, can you not get fresh guava? I didn't know fresh guava was that hard to come by.
It's not that it's hard to come by. It's just that it's a little pricey over here because it doesn't grow here. Yeah, so it's imported, and it's only been in the past, I want to say 20 years that it's been imported here to Texas because it couldn't be imported before.
Maybe that's what it is because, I'm in South Florida and all that bizarre crap is just about in every grocery store. I mean, we grew up playing football in the produce section with dragon fruit. So, it's part of the life down here.
That's a weird one, too. I wouldn't even know what to do with that one.
Half the time, I think they would cut that out and spoon it onto a plate just to screw with people. It's like, is this supposed to be looking at me?
Have you ever tasted dragon fruit?
Oh, yeah. It's, listen, I'm about to sound like one of those assholes on Chopped now. It's got more of like a pear apple-y flavor to it. Of course, haven't you? Hasn't everybody? Come on.
Well, when I tasted it, it just tasted rather bland to me. It wasn't that great. I mean, they had hyped this up like such a great thing. Everything's being flavored with dragon fruit. It was that's sugar for drinks and stuff like that. So,
I mean, you're looking at a bizarre-looking fruit to begin with, and then you cut it open, and it's got large black seeds and white gelatinous flesh, and it looks exotic as hell, and you got to sit there and concentrate on the flavor. So, oh, there it is. Okay, now I got it. But
yeah, so not my fave. Not my fave. Anyway, but yeah, so moving on. That was my contribution to my sister's text today, was to make her stop watching Snapped. I don't see any good coming out of that. Personally.
Your brother-in-law will be grateful.
Well, the thing is, it's even worse. He's a sheriff's deputy, so I just don't see any good coming out of her watching this show.
Yeah. So they both have access to weaponry. This is good.
Yes, they do. So anyway. So moving on with another topic in a little bit. I think we're at the bottom of the hour, so we should take a break if Lou is amiable. I think. Or we can just keep going.
I guess so.
All right. So we'll keep going. Forget about taking a break. One of the things that I did see on Twitter yesterday was John Krasinski. He has... Okay, well... it looks like Luke is back, so let's just take a break and we'll pick it up after that.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq, Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is, if getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now, 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
Misspells knocks me on my knees. It didn't hurt, flirt, blood, squirt, stuff, shirt like me on a tree. After I count down 3 rounds, in hell I'll be in good company.
And welcome back to A Pod Divided. With me is Brad Slager, aka at Martini Shark. And we were just about to get started on some good news today.
Oh, thank God.
Well, you know, it's it's rough right now. A lot of people are under a lot of stress, being kept at home and having had travel plans curtailed. Spring breaks were canceled or extended. So if you're a parent, the extension was kind of bad. You know, and now a lot of parents have to stay home with children and help them with homeschooling, stuff like that. So it gets to be a little tiring and a little, let's just say that they shouldn't be watching Snapped either. So, but
very true, very true.
Yeah, there was one of our favorite actors, John Krasinski, who was known from The Office and Jack Ryan, actually decided to take it upon himself to tweet out asking for some good news because he wanted to bring that to people. And he did about a 15-minute video called Some Good News. And he highlighted a lot of the good that's going around with the first responders, doctors, nurses, EMTs, and other people, and how they have, how people have actually gone out of their way to help their fellow man. And it has actually cheered up a lot of people. And now people are starting to look for these good news online and amplifying them, which is, I think, so sorely needed right now, especially since all we get is coronavirus this, with a little bit of Lyme disease that, and it's not exactly the cocktail that you want right now.
No, this is I'd recommend it to anybody because we feature this at our site over at Red State 2, and basically he just comes up with these little vignettes, these little stories that people had online and, sent over his way. Just to start off with, his logo, his daughters drew for himself. I mean, Krasinski is just a solid family guy. Sorry about his wife, Aggie. I don't want to pick at that scab for you.
Please, I have blocked that out. Completely.
His lovely wife, Emily Blunt, who they deeply love each other. Sorry. I didn't want to go there.
You're such a jerk.
But he had, to do this, like you said, it's a 15-minute shot, and he has basically just right there in his house, and the phone is on him, and he's got a little chyron up above his shoulder with, featuring some of the tweets and stuff. And it's just, feel good stories. Like one guy said there was a lobster fisherman that's out of work now because of all of the mayhem. So the guy went over there, and I think he bought something like 300 lobsters from the guy. And then he distributed them to all his neighbors. So, he's helping this guy out. He's helping his neighbors out.
Yeah. He cooked them and then distributed them. So he cut that step too. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was like, damn, moving to this guy's neighborhood. That's the way to tough things out. But yeah, just stories like that. It was, somebody's at a nursing home and the guy was at the window singing to the people inside, staying separated, but still entertaining. I mean, these real stories. And this is, Krasinski's one of those celebrities I can actually tolerate. The guy is pretty solid, supports the military a lot. I've even seen articles where the press was mad at him because they think he's a closeted conservative. God forbid.
Yeah, and I like him because I don't know what his politics are.
Precisely.
He doesn't. I don't care. I don't care what they are, as long as he does. He uses his, I guess, celebrity to do good or advance good or whatever. I'm good with that. I'm fine with that.
Well, you got to look at the way he's doing it too. It's not, hey, look at me, I'm John Krasinski, check out what I'm doing. He's basically just kicking back in his house and is like, you know what? You people need some of this stuff. I'm just going to put it out there for your benefit. And it's not about him, even though he's on camera, and it's tough to do as a celebrity to be on camera, but not be the center of attention. A lot of times that itself is a bit of a talent. And he manages to do so here because just the kind of stories, they're just quick, feel-good hits. They can be summed up in a tweet that he features and sometimes even has a video accompany it. And that's all it takes, because it's like, this is what people should be doing. Not, look how brave I am as a celebrity to go without makeup in my home.
Oh, my word.
Shut the living hell up.
What? I don't understand how that is brave. How going without makeup is brave. If you go out in public without makeup, that's a little bit more brave. I wouldn't even say it's brave, but it's more brave than staying at home without makeup. Everybody does that.
I mean, just think about how brave I must be then, because I do that all the time.
So do I, and it's actually very liberating.
It's exactly how I feel when I go out without liner. I just feel like a new man.
Naked.
You know who else? A couple others that were doing good too is of all people, Larry the Cable Guy. He had a pretty good follow up when the celebrities are out there doing their "Look at Me" and we're going to help the little people. And he said, "You're singing the song Imagine, telling people to go without possessions while you're in your mansion and you could be out of work for a full year and never feel it." I'm just like, damn, Larry.
Exactly. I mean, that was a hell of a burn.
I mean, he came in with a high arm bar there. I was like, damn, love it. Basically said, shut the hell up. But probably the best was Ryan Reynolds when he had his response to that too. Yes. And he said, "I'm a celebrity, and we are very important in helping this fight. So are people like nurses and doctors and first responders. Sure, there's a few other people maybe more important than celebrities, like ping pong players,
cheerleaders,
make believe friends, mannequins.
Mannequins."
That was my favorite one. It was like, this is why he's even Canadian, and I love this guy. So.
Oh, he's awesome. I remember watching Outer Limits when he was starting out and he was a teen, and he did a couple of Outer Limits, and I was just like, oh my God, that's Ryan Reynolds. I never noticed.
No, I mean, you got to appreciate when they have that level of A-list power and don't care about it. And, Chris Pratt's another one, too, who seems like, yeah, I do these movies, but I'm going to go home to my ranch in Montana and actually do stuff. And, he's another one that's not caught up in the glam of it all. So those I'm not a star whore, of course. That's just me. But those are the kind of people that you seem as like, yeah, thank you. Okay, you're doing it right. So it's helpful to see these instances.
It is. It gives me hope that not everybody in Hollywood is cranially erected. I don't know. I don't know. It just. Every so often you see a celebrity and you just know you're about to read a train wreck.
Mm-hmm.
So those three are really nice. It's nice that they're not considered train wrecks. That's kind of nice. Even though he's, Krasinski's married to what's her name. So anyway.
Let it go. Come on. We made one bad mistake in your estimation.
I know. I really need to look past that. It's going to take time, though. It's going to take me some time. Anyway, talking about train wrecks, one of my favorite things to talk about, and I'm not the Anglophile here. That is LL. LL is the Anglophile. So she always brings us the royal news. But lately I've been kind of getting more into it simply because it is a train wreck. It is such a glorious train wreck. It's awesome. But right now, as you know, Megxit happened, and
I'm taking your word for it here, by the way, just for the record.
The Duke and Duchess of Sussex. I think that's their official titles anyway. Meghan and Harry are now wanting to live in LA. This comes right after they said they were not going to live in the US until Trump was out of office, mind you. So this was a turnaround, I guess, because she wants to go back into acting. That's my guess. Anyway, but today came word that they're having a bit of an issue because part of the agreement for them to exit the royal family was that they had to pay back all of the restoration money that was spent on the estate that they were going to be using as Duke and Duchess of Sussex. And the estate is called Frogmore Cottage. It's not. I wish I lived in a cottage like that, let me tell you. But as I recall, the price tag for the restoration was over £2 million.
So this is cottage in quotation marks.
Yeah, and really big, bold quotation marks. So anyway, so they had to pay back over £2 million for the restoration of this place. And one of the things that Meghan is finding it difficult is that they don't have a steady income as of yet. She didn't expect, I guess, to have to pay all that money up front. And so so there's an insider that was saying that she is after Harry to get a job. Like, this is better than any soap opera.
I was going to say, does this qualify as palace intrigue?
Yeah, I guess maybe out of palace intrigue. I don't know. Because, and the thing is, I think she wants, like I said, she wants to have her career back, which is, yeah, fine, whatever. But one of the things that I found interesting in the article was that the insider was saying that it's very frustrating because Harry's never had a job and doesn't have a university degree. And I'm like, he's never had a job? What the hell did he do for 10 years in the military?
Yeah, I was gonna bring up that point. I think he's at least done something with himself.
But. And that was I found it rather egregious that they were saying, oh, he's only been in the military. He doesn't have any job experience and he doesn't have any education. And he doesn't speak another language. And I'm going, you pretty much described like most of the people that live in the world, you know.
Yeah, not to mention, usually when people come out of a decade of military service, they're in higher demand in the workplace.
Exactly. They have been trained. They have training. They have work training. They've had a job. And for them to actually say that he has absolutely no job experience and no work experience, only the military, was kind of jarring to me because, as I recall correctly, Harry actually excelled in the military. I mean, I know that the Queen actually told him, you know, after that little snafu with the Nazi-themed party that he had to, you know, you're shipping out. You're going into the military because you need to straighten up. And so he did, and he found his groove. I mean, he adapted like a duck to water, and it was his thing. He loved being in the military, and unfortunately, he had to come home because his location was divulged and it became public, so he could no longer serve with his men. But to say that, oh, he's only been in the military, he doesn't have he's never had a real job. It's an insult not just to him, but to men and women that have served in the military, regardless of the country that they're in. And I found that rather egregious.
What the hell they teach you to do? Walk in a straight line?
I guess so. I'm just stunned. I mean, but you know, I think it's kind of funny because when Trump heard that they were moving to LA, Trump made sure to let them know that our government was not paying for their security. They're private citizens, and they need to understand that now. They're no longer emissaries of the House of Windsor. So that was another jarring thing that they did not expect. But they're taking care of their own security, so that's not a big deal or anything. So I'm going to be following this simply because it's better than a telenovela at the moment. I just want to see what Harry does for a job. I want to see. I really do.
Just find it a little surprising that, here she goes from being a TV actress to being an actual princess, but that wasn't enough fame for her. She has to go back and
see, and that just doesn't, the psychology of that just doesn't make sense. Now, admittedly, she only had a 2-year courtship with Harry, whereas, Kate had an 8-year courtship with William. And Kate was actually trained during that courtship to become a princess, whereas Meghan did not have that time afforded to her. But that was her fault, and that was Harry's fault, because they wanted to get married so soon. But, they don't want to stay there. They want to be financially independent from the House of Windsor. I get that. But I think what she really, really wants is to be queen in Hollywood. And that was her first love, was acting. That's what she's always wanted to be, an actress, and so I think being an emissary for the monarchy made her seem like she was a lackey, and I guess she really doesn't like that. But I'll be the lackey. I don't mind being a lackey for the house.
Yeah, you have to understand too, though. She was a princess. Her husband is very unlikely to become the king. She's basically the understudy. That's not going to fly.
Understudy with money coming from the duchy, that's her father-in-law's, and a free house. I'm okay with this.
Yeah, not to mention all the global travel and international fame that would be afforded to that.
I would have been totally fine with that. But
now, I want my name above the title on the poster.
Yeah, well,
I just kind of underscores what I always say, too, usually derisively, but the celebrity set here in America is literally our royalty. So this kind of cements that theory for me.
I think it does. I think you're right. It's very convoluted right now because this is not working out the way they thought it would. They had expressed that they were going to live in Canada for a while before moving down to the States. I believe she's Canadian. I don't know. I don't know much about her. But
I know less.
Now they want to live in LA because, she wants to, go back into acting and everything. And I'm going, it's really difficult for somebody who marries into a royal family to go back into their job, what they used to have. I mean, Grace Kelly comes to mind. I mean, she just quit. She retired from that. She just went and married the man she loved and became a princess, and that was that. But I don't know. Maybe it'll work for her. Times have changed, so who knows?
Yeah, but she's never really had serious pull in Hollywood. I mean, she hasn't been an A-lister. Yeah, it's not like she voided a movie career where she was, Julia Roberts star level or something. She was a TV actress.
Yeah, and I finally got around to seeing one of her movies on the Hallmark Channel, which I know you loathe.
Oh, that's a point of contention in our household.
I'm sure. But I gotta say, I was not impressed. I was like, no wonder she wasn't even top billed. She was like the friend to the top billed chick, I guess. So
it's one of those cases where like the camera doesn't love her, but they do get along. It's one of those deals. It's like if you didn't know it was her, you probably wouldn't be magnetically drawn to her. You kind of have to be steered towards, that's her, that's Meghan, that's the one. And like, oh, okay, now I get it. But otherwise, yeah, she's not especially charismatic. She's not carrying things to a degree that makes you notice. So she wants to chase her dream. I'm not going to knock it. Go for it. But
well, the best of luck to them. I can't wait to see how this plays out. I really can't.
Saying if you're a director and you get told that somebody's been cast for your movie where being a princess wasn't enough for her, holy hell, you've got a long shoot in front of you.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I know that she had just she had done something for Disney. She was I want to say she had done the narration for a Disney film, but she had donated the salary because at the time they were not planning on the whole Megxit thing yet. So, but at least she's done that. So now she's got stuff on her resume that resonates with LA, as opposed to Vancouver, where she normally films.
Well, I mean, technically, you and I are doing voiceover work right now too, so I think we can be considered royalty.
Oh, that is, and I have a tiara. Oh my God, I have a tiara.
There we go. See, I can be the Kaiser of the microphone, and I don't know, what title would you want?
No clue. I'm just happy. I'll tell you at Easter when I'm drinking again and I'm back to normal.
Yes, you are off your game at the moment. I feel
I am
for
totally
you.
off my game. I'm looking great, but I'm off my game. Oh well.
As I'm here imbibing during the show, but I'm not going to go into details because if I told you I had beer and bourbon in front of me, it would probably make you hurt. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. It just came out. Please.
Well, look at me. I'm actually blogging cocktails every day, so there's that.
This is true.
Speaking of, our cocktail for tonight is the Amaretto Sour, which is a pretty cool drink to have. It's a lot of people think it's a girly drink, but no, I've seen a lot of guys actually enjoy it. This is true.
I mean, I've made drinks with,
Oh, well, okay. People think it's a girly drink, but I think that men enjoy it too.
I'm sure they do. I'm not, to me, it's more, amaretto is an ingredient in a more potable, throw it in like a bourbon lift or something like that, but it's not the featured liqueur.
No, I just have to disagree.
I know, you're, like I said, chick drink.
Chick.
It's fine.
Anyway, so tonight's cocktail, being an amaretto sour, you take 1.5 ounces of amaretto, 1 ounce of the simple syrup, 3/4 ounces of fresh lemon juice, an orange slice, and a cherry. And you pour all the liquid ingredients into a shaker with ice. You shake well and pour over ice. You garnish with the orange slice and the cherry. Now, a lot of people say, yes, it's sweet because amaretto is sweet to begin with. The lemon juice helps to cut that. But if you want it more sour, you can increase the lemon juice to 1 ounce and cut the simple syrup to 1/2 ounce. And it's a little bit less. It's way less sweet if you do that.
And I would probably take that orange slice and give that a twist over the top too to send some more citrus in there.
Yeah.
Balance it out.
Of course, because you're a guy.
Little dipsologist tip for you there.
Thank you. It's always appreciated.
I'm just throwing in what I would do is all it is, giving you options. But amaretto, I'm Dutch, and for some reason there's a lot of almond in the baking in Dutch food for some reason. Figure that out.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm familiar with it, but it was more, like I said, it's like an additional liqueur. It's never really the star of the drink for me. So
I remember growing up, it was a big deal because it was hard to come by in Puerto Rico, and we would go for either some kind of big dinner, Easter, Thanksgiving, something, to one of my dad's cousins' houses. And they would serve it into the those tiny little cocktail glasses, they look like miniature wine glasses, those, and that's what they would serve. And I mean, nobody chugged this back. I mean, they would literally take 30 minutes to drink this because it was so precious. And it was the first bottle of liquor that my mom bought when she came to the States was that amaretto. Because she was like, I finally have it. It's all mine.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I mean, when something is scarce like that and it becomes, a cherished drink to have, it's understandable to a degree. So, yeah, I'm not knocking stuff. It's just personal preference for me. It's a little too sweet for me, so
But it's good for baking. It's good for baking.
Yeah, we have done that. Like I said, my Dutch family's done bacon. They have one dessert that's called banquet, and it's actually made with an almond paste, and they would actually drizzle that over the top before baking to give it just some additional flavor. And
oh, that sounds so good.
Familiar with it. It's just not a preference of mine. If I'm going to go sweet, it would probably be I'm still kind of wistful about the fact that we don't have the Kentucky Derby on the horizon. That
doesn't mean you can't drink like there is a Kentucky Derby.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm going to be drinking like it. Don't get me wrong. I was kind of steering towards that. They did announce they might be running it around September if we get back to normal. So a lot of the prep races, which originate, Florida usually has some of the original races that feed into the Kentucky Derby. So if they bring those back, they might be running the Derby around September or so.
Well, I have to make a Derby hat this year.
Look at you.
Yeah, our neighbors, all the gals want to do Derby hats this year, and I'm like, well, you awesome. Realize they have to be big and yes. Stuff. She's like, yes, but the trick is you cannot buy the hat. You can buy the hat plain, but you must decorate it yourself. So we're going to be doing that.
You better post pictures. I want to see this.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. And thank you, Martini Shark. Where can we find you?
Oh, all over the place. I do my writings over at Red State, over at Twitchy. You can hear me 2 nights from now with my partner, Paul. We're going to be doing Disasters in the Making, and we're going to be honoring the passing of Kenny Rogers. We're going to be doing his movie Six Pack, which I know have you seen it yet, or are you still going to?
Oh, no, I'm watching that tomorrow.
Okay. We're going to be pouring into that one, and if you want me on a daily basis, sometimes even hourly, because it gets so damn boring right now, go over to Twitter. I'm at Martini Shark.
And you can find me at Aggie the Barkeep, since my main account is still suspended. And you can also find me along with Princess Lou, our producer, over at Chick Chat on Friday nights at the non-political nights on KLRN Radio. Thank you so much for joining us, guys, and we will talk to you later.
You say you're not from Texas. Man, as if I couldn't tell. Well, you think you pull your boots on right and wear your hat so well. So pardon me my laughter, as I sure do understand. Even Moses got excited when he saw the promised land. That's right, you're not Texas. That's right, you're not Texas. That's right, you're not Texas. Texas wants you anyway. That's right, you're not Texas. That's right, you're not Texas. That's right, you're not Texas. Texas wants you anyways. I was born and raised in Texas, and it means so much.